Okay, so basically there are four types of transformations. One with the spear, one with the mace, one that is mage, and one that is assassin. You have to be careful because you should be reacting differently in the different transformations. And here is how we're gonna do this. Okay, this transformation here is the spear. So basically, it's a special type. Warrior type. AKA weak point would be if I use wind transformation. However, you have two choices. Either use wind transformation and be a bit faster in DPS if you're running for time in your late or whatever, or use fire and feel a little bit more safe. Because of two reasons. First, you have drainer HP. You don't have to transform out and in so frequently, if you even need at all. Second, you can kill the adds really easy. Now, when you see that he's using the summoning skill, you need to be careful and watch where the adds are. So you stand on the opposite side of the boss of where the adds are coming, so you can hit them with the second skill, kill them with the second skill or the fourth skill. You have to have that in mind. If you wish, you can keep the fourth skill ready and safe in order to kill it easy. Now this is the first variant. Second would be if you use the wind transformation, as I said earlier, to deal the damage a little bit faster. Now this is a little bit more tricky because when you are attacking the adds, you need to actually kill them either manually with the second skill or with the third spell. However, they are not going to get one shot from the third spell. For which reason you would want always to keep an eye when they are and do not stay in the toggle skill. So basically, when the arts are spawning, remove the toggle and start running around so you don't get hit. The boss doesn't deal much damage to you, however the adds do. They make like 9k per hit, so if you get like 2-3 hits, the boss may actually finish you if you're not full HP. You have to have that in mind, or you will be forced to retransform again, which is bad. Okay, when he transforms to mage, um, you always would want to have that boss on those spots you see on the picture, which means before that transformation you need to try to move the boss on one of those spots. In my opinion, those are the best ones in order to be able to kill both adds with the first spell and the second spell at the same time, not to get hit by them, as you see in the video. When Since this boss does a lot of damage, you will need to be healing yourself always when the third spell is on of cooldown, and when you start losing HP, just retransform. Don't wait the boss to kill you. Normally, when you transform out, my advice is always use some kind of skill, potion, or whatsoever you have as a class. If you have potions, you can use them even in the transformation, so use those as well, because the fire transformation does a lot of damage. Even without the adds, you can get killed if you're not careful. Basically, that's everything about this boss. You always stay in the fire transformation, and you finish it off without even moving. If by any chance you don't place the boss careful, you have to be extremely careful and kill the nearest second add to you. Okay, and now the transformation with the Mason Shield. Now this is really important. Um, what we said up until now, basically in all other transformations, you can do all the way with fire transformation. However, here if you want, you can do it like me, start in the beginning with fire for a bit and then transform to water. But you need to transform to water because that stupid skill that is the dot, it's only dispellable by more than one potion, so you cannot pot it. Basically, you need to dispel it yourself. with the fourth spell of the water. When you see that dot skill, you have to have in mind that in few seconds he will be using that skill forward that hits for 20k HP twice. So when he starts casting this, you need to move behind it. And by moving behind it, I mean like don't stay like super melee range to it when you move behind it, because he will most probably turn around and shot you with it. I mean, he will turn direction of the cast. So move at least like 3-4 meters behind him, and then you can start hitting it. Also, don't go behind him in the end of the cast. Try to do it before 50% of the cast, otherwise he will be turning as well. And if you're not in hurry for rank or time or whatever, you can also kite it a little bit when he's about to, I mean, after he casts the dot, so you know for certain that you're not gonna get that hit. You have easier time, you know, moving behind him or sideways, since it's a fun shape away frontal. And now to talk a little bit about the last transformation, the easiest one, the assassin. Basically, even if it's assassin type, my advice is just stay in the fire, best one for it. Damage is relatively decent. The boss doesn't do much, it's just auto attacks, and at one point he starts teleporting, making outer away. If you stay outside, you will die. However, it's easy to avoid, just go inside and DPS him normally. It's easy. Now, my advice is when he starts transforming, because you have noticed, I guess, he transforms twice, to second and to third transformation. So when his HP is going down to transform second time, if you have assassin as second transformation, my advice is if he's still teleporting, either wait for him to stop teleporting to finish him off, or wait him to go on a suitable location for the water, for the mage boss.